This is Stock Day. News and interviews from the microcap world. Public information on the OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world. With your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, we have a very exciting guest. His name is Keith Alexandra. He is the CEO of Nevis Corporation Capital, symbol OCEE on the pink sheets. Keith, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Everett. Thanks for having me.
One of the reasons why I invited you on the show today is that recently your company and my company has signed a letter of intent for Nevis Corporation to buy around 36-37% of Uptick Newswire. Can you tell the listeners what that really means to your company and how it's going to add value and assets to Nevis Corporation?
Okay, I'd be happy to. The question has been brought up a time or two, why we would take a partial interest in a company. And basically, you get, number one, to build your balance sheet based on your investment in these companies. You get to put it on your books. Number two, when you take interest in an LLC, all profits and losses will pass back through. So a pro rata share of the income that happens with Uptick Newswire will directly come back into Nevis Capital Corporation. So our goal is to build a balance sheet that, again, increases the value to our shareholders, but also to get involved in industries or companies that's going to generate cash to help us on our cash flow also.
Exactly. You know, one of the reasons why I signed the letter of intent to merge with your company is because you guys are going to provide us with adequate cash to take us to the next level. And what our next level is to basically be the number one nano-cap, micro-cap newswire in the world. We're going to be taking our news over to Australia, the Pacific Rim. We're the fastest growing micro-cap newswire in the country right now. Currently, there's 30 million websites in the world. Ours is in the top 100,000 most visited website. We get over 30,000 investors coming to our website on a daily basis.
I believe you also told me that y'all have some pretty good exposure on the social media, if I'm not mistaken. And that also is a good deal for companies like ours and like other microcaps, is someone that has the ability to get the exposures in the arenas that possibly we're not as keen in.
Absolutely. And Keith, you hit that right on the head. We have over 100,000 Twitter followers following us on a daily basis. We just recently had a CPA come in, put a true valuation on the company of $1.4 million. Our revenues have grown 100% annually over the last 3 years, and we're on projection this year in 2016 to do over $350,000 in sales with a profit at the end of the year.
That's fantastic. And as we've discussed previously, our goal is to be involved with companies that have some growth potential that in the long run will enhance everybody involved. I like it.
Absolutely. So I thank you for coming on the show again. My guest today has been Keith Alexander. He is the CEO of OCEE. They're traded on the pink sheets. And in closing, Keith, is there anything you want to say to the listeners out there that we haven't touched upon?
I think if they will continue to follow us, follow Uptick in their news releases, I think they'll see that we've got a growth plan that's going to come together in the next few months. And it may not be a big overnight blow up, but I think over the next 6 to 12 months, you'll see some pretty good enhancements in the company, and it will allow everybody to make a little bit of return on their investment, if I should say that. I also want to say that back to what you'd mentioned earlier, that's part of the reason that we look at some of these companies is hopefully in the long run, the public vehicle will allow us to go to the public, raise the funds necessary to help each one of our entities obtain their goals.
Absolutely.
But, Everett, I appreciate you inviting me in here to visit with you. And if anybody has any questions, try to be pretty accessible to whoever calls, and looking forward to this relationship.
Keith, myself too, and thank you very much for the update, and we'll be checking back with you in a couple of weeks.
Fantastic. I appreciate you so much.